Good evening to you. My name is Azubah. I was born Azubah Tully in the year 1789 here in Saybrook, Connecticut. My mother was also named Azubah Kirtland, and my father is Elias Tully. I have 8 sisters, all of whom are married. I married my husband, Samuel Selden Warner, 5 years ago, shortly after his first wife died. He had 2 young daughters to care for, and he and I have had 2 more children since then, a boy and a girl. So I have a busy life. I came to the church this evening to have some time to myself. I brought along a packet of letters sent to me by my sister and a brother-in-law some years ago. If you don't mind, I would like to read them to you and to tell you a little about those who sent them. This one is from my sister Betsy. She wrote it in summer of 1809, almost 2 years after she and Ozias Holmes were married and moved to Hadlime. Ozias's family lives there and has for a long time, almost as long as the Tullys have lived in Saybrook. To Miss Azubah Tully, Saybrook, she goes on, "Dear sister, I have taken my pen to inquire after your health and the rest of the families. The doctor," she means Dr. Asa Miller Holt, who later married my sister Mercy. "The doctor called on Monday Eve to tell me how he was going to Saybrook, but I had not time to write. I conclude he told you that we had got our rolls," she means wooden spools for the woolen mills, "and I have spun half a run." We spin woolen thread onto the spools so that they are ready to be used to make cloth, and half a run is about 5,000 feet and a lot of spinning. Before we became independent from England, we were not allowed to weave our own wool. We had to send the wool to England and then buy the cloth that came back. I should be glad to know when you will come back, as I really wish to see you. Marianne has company now. Phoebe Griffin is here, and we expect her sister Esther today. Phoebe and Esther were friends of the Holmes family and live in East Haddam, just a little north of Hadlime. They often came calling when they were in the area. Marianne is Ozias and Betsy's little girl, just 9 months old at that time. She was a darling baby, and I did not get to see her as often as I would have liked. She, meaning Esther, is at the ferry now, so you may guess I am full of business. She must have been very busy just then, as usual. Ozias is a good husband to Betsy. His grandfather and father had farmed in Hadlime for many years and were very successful. His father, Eliphalet, now 86 years old, was still in charge of things back in 1809. His mother, Ann Gates, just passed away 2 years ago, and his father is in ill health, so Ozias and Betsy also care for him. The ferry? It's called the Warner Ferry after the family that runs it, my husband's family, and it's just 2 miles down the hill from where they live. Now, Ozias finished this letter. "Betsy is quite out of patience with writing so much and wishes me to write. I have nothing to tell you, but I complain about as much as ever." Betsy was very unhappy with me for not writing to her more often, but with both Polly and Betsy in Hadlime, I could not satisfy them with letters often enough. And Ozias is a dear soul, but a terrible worrier, and I knew he wanted me to come visit them, even if he had to come down to Saybrook and get me. Hadlime is just across the Connecticut River from Chester, about 10 miles north of Saybrook, but it is a half a day's ride on horseback, and sometimes the river is high or the wind is strong, and the ferry ride can be difficult. We shall be out of patience soon of waiting for you, and wish you to write if you have time, how soon I shall come down and wait upon your ladyship at Hadlime in the politest form. The ladies are in want of bonnets very much here, and wish you to return, even Madame Louise the dressmaker. I learned from my mother how to make bonnets from straw and with silk and other materials, and I often made them for family members, as well as friends and neighbors. If I come down after you, I shall expect to return the same day. and thus so I remain, your brother, Ozias Holmes. Then he adds, P.S. Love from all the family to you and your family, Azubah. I was glad to hear from Ozias then, as I never had another letter from him. I so enjoy the memories that reading these letters brings. I hope to share another with you soon.